All right, y'all, so we are back with another extremely bullish Toshi video. In this one, we are going to be going over something that actually came from my last video. So the last video when I was comparing Toshi, the SHIB, and Pepe, I thought of a pretty interesting question based on that. I wanted to know how the market was looking at the time when those projects ran, because I believe it'll give us more insight into what's going on with Toshi now and what we can expect. I also took it a step farther and asked a few more interesting questions, and we also had an update. ChatGPT actually updated to ChatGPT 5 recently, so now it's had kind of a revamp. The answers have been a little bit different. It's been moving different, so I've still been learning it. I've still been trying to, get accustomed to it. Now, I will say this is an extremely bullish video. I think that a lot of people are going to love what we see here, but I also have to, be a responsible investor and make sure you're doing your own research, you're doing your due diligence, and also you understand that this technology, the AI, is new. It's not some king, it's not some god, some knowing all thing. It's not that. It's none of that. So make sure that you can use it to research and use it as a tool, but it's just that it's not proven to have ever been through a bull run and predicted a great call or anything like that. All that it's doing currently, and all that I use it for personally, is to let me know some of the data and also analyze the data and let me know its opinion on the data. So when we're going through the facts and going over the facts, a very clear picture is painted when it comes down to Toshi. And this is the same conclusions that we all come to when we understand a lot of this stuff. When we get certain knowledge and we get certain information, this is what made a lot of us start holding Toshi and really start getting more bullish about Toshi and things like that, because it's only really one conclusion you can draw at a certain point. But that being said, I just want to make sure you all have your exit strategies, you have your plan. Don't just be out here moving crazy trying to YOLO it. Have an exit strategy so you can make sure you get some capital out of this market. You don't want to be holding and round tripping or none of that stuff. As the market goes up, take some of your profits, make a little bit of money, lock some away. That way you can, you can play the game knowing that you actually have accomplished something this bull run. If you have high risk tolerance, you can just hold and see how high it go and hold and try to shoot for the top, but that's not the best decision. And yeah, I would definitely advise against that. But hey, I'm not a financial advisor, just my opinion. So anyway, let's jump into it. We finna jump straight into it because yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna enjoy it, but yeah, I just wanted to, make it clear you still need to have some discipline with the way you're moving in these markets. So yeah, I started, picking up where we left off. I'm curious, what point of the bull run did SHIB, Pepe, and Dogecoin all go parabolic? Was it during the peak? Was it a dry spell before the real bull run had even begun? I'm trying to understand it in comparison to Toshi. Toshi's all-time high after the Coinbase listing was when the market was pretty dead. So I basically explained the context of Toshi and why I was trying to understand what actually happened with Doge and SHIB. So it said, yeah, let's figure it out. So Dogecoins, the first time Doge went parabolic was between January and May 2021. The context of the market is Bitcoin had already broken all-time high on December 2020 and was in the mid phase of the bull run. Altcoins were heating up, but Doge's pump, fueled by Elon's tweets plus SNL hype, ran before many alts hit peak mania. Key detail, Doge's first mania was early mid-cycle hype, not the final blow off top. So that's interesting. The interesting facts about Doge. But also understand that that's a rare and special case, because how often do you have someone at the caliber of and magnitude of Elon shilling something during the middle of a bull run? So yeah, that's not likely to happen in that way again, which means the next project to do what Doge did, people are really going to have to respect the utilities and values and things like that that comes with it, which again, I believe that utility is king. And listen, this is why I love the recent developments that's happened with Toshi. SHIB, its first one was May 2021. It was an early pump, then a massive run in October 2021 to all-time high. So it had an early one in May, and then it had the big one in October. The market context, the May run was right before Bitcoin's local top at 64K, still mid bull run. The October run happened after Bitcoin recovered and hit 69K, end phase of the bull run when retail mania was peaking. So that's interesting. Then the key detail, SHIB had two major legs, one during the mid phase hype, another during peak retail FOMO. Yeah, so then Pepe, the first one was between April and May 2023. The market context, it was no real bull market. Bitcoin was 27K, Ethereum was under 2K. This was a dead market. Meme season, this was a dead market meme season where liquidity rotated into low caps. Key detail, Pepe proved a meme can run hard without a raging bull market. Narrative plus community alone was enough to send it parabolic. Now that was a different time, different, you know, it was different then. It was like, I think it's something like, I saw something like 1 million or 10,000, between 10,000 and 1 million memes get made every single day or something now. So yeah, all these memes, all these rug pulls, definitely a different place. And also, investors aren't tired of getting wrecked yet. Now I wouldn't even call them investors. The gamblers aren't tired of getting wrecked yet. So they have to see the power of a real project with real utility, real value. People aren't even thinking about meme coins like that. The meme coin is the thing that you buy into, it pumps a little and you try to get out before they rug you. That's what a meme coin is in so many people's minds. So understanding something like what Toshi brings to the table isn't even going to be easy for some people. But at the point where people stop getting tired of getting destroyed on Solana, like that's most of our story. We started on Solana, we was getting wrecked. We understood just how manipulated it was. We like, you know what? They're actually trying to build something over there on base. Let's look around. And that's pretty much how a lot of us got onboarded into this ecosystem. But a lot of people will go through that process throughout this bull run. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, comparing to Toshi, all-time high context, right after Coinbase listing when overall market sentiment was flat to bearish, more like Pepe's launch window than SHIB or DOGE's big runs. Implication, if Toshi could pull that kind of all-time high and Bitcoin beating volume in a dead market, then its real mania phase run hasn't even happened yet. That's crazy. The market was flat to bearish and Toshi was able to do that. It said the real mania phase run hasn't happened yet. That's insane. You know, that's insane. Excuse me. In a true bull run mania phase, like Shiba on October 2021 or Doge April 2021, retail FOMO, liquidity, and base ecosystem plus base ecosystem growth could push multiples beyond its current all-time high. So they're basically just breaking down what could actually make this go crazy. So check it out. Next, I asked, do you believe this will be a major bull run for Base? Coinbase said their goal is to bring $1 trillion into the ecosystem and it'll happen sooner than we all think. How's Base performance been so far, and do you think it could be the winning chain this bull run due to its alignment with the USA and Trump? Then they said here's a clear breakdown and outlook for Base, its bull run potential, and where Toshi fits in. How has Base been performing? Rapid growth in on-chain activity. Since early 2024, Base's daily transactions surged from 372,000 to over 6.6 million by October, an astounding 1,600% increase. Now, I also believe, like, we're going to get later, like a few lines down, and I'm going to have it update its information a little bit. So we're going to revisit some of this information, but this is just in the time period that it searched within. So reading throughout this, I saw some of the timings was off because it didn't know what time we are in right now. So I had to tell it the date. I told it to get the fresh information and all that. But this information in perspective is still interesting because this is how it felt at a point in time. And then we're going to get the updated one, which is even more bullish than this, by the way. But yeah, just wanted to give you all some context. All right, expanding ecosystem and TVL. According to mid-2024 data, Base's total value locked exceeded 2.5 billion, with DeFi TVL nearly 1 billion and over 68 million active addresses, making it the fourth largest Ethereum layer 2. Built for scalability and integration, Base offers exceptionally low transaction cost, less than a cent, and optimized performance backed by Coinbase's infrastructure and tool set for developers. Commerce integration via Shopify. In mid-2025, Shopify enabled USDC payments on Base, bridging on-chain commerce to millions of merchants globally. Is a major bull run for Base likely? Absolutely. Here's why. Base rolls out the red carpet for onboarding capital. Coinbase openly targets bringing $1 trillion into its ecosystem, largely via USDC, tokenization, and Base as the main settlement layer. Leverageable infrastructure plus regulatory tailwinds. The recent Genius Act provides legal clarity for stablecoins like USDC, empowering Base to scale mainstream on-chain payments with institutional credibility. Ecosystem flywheel. Base is architected to onboard real assets, commerce, apps, and social layers, making it a multi-layered economy primed to scale rapidly. Could Base be the winning chain in the next bull run? Very likely, but not because of political alignment. Base is not a politically charged chain, and its alignment with the US and even Donald Trump is not a factor in adoption. What matters is on-ramp access. Coinbase gives Base a direct path to 100 million plus users. Regulatory clarity. The Genius Act and USDC's legal framework reduce risk and boost institutional trust. Real-world utility. Shopify integration, tokenized assets, developer-friendly tools all point towards practical, scalable use cases. In short, Base's infrastructure, distribution, and regulatory advantage make it a strong contender to lead the next cycle, not politics. So, final take on in Toshi context. Base is still early on, with exploding activity metrics, increasing TVL, merchant adoption, and a $1 trillion vision. We're in the pre-parabola phase. Toshi's breakout within this ecosystem signals early leverage primed to capture a massive wave if Base hits high adoption territory. Now, this is what I said. Based on the recent news and where we currently are in this cycle, when do you think Base season will peak? Also, what do you think about Toshi's chances of going parabolic and passing up a lot of the older meme coins with less utility and extremely high market caps? When Base season will likely peak? Looking at historical ecosystem seasons, Solana in late 2021, BSC in early 2021, and Arbitrum Sui mini runs, they almost always peak after three conditions are met. Liquidity floods the market. Bitcoin and Ethereum have made clear new all-time highs, and retail is back in full force. Major narrative catalysts. For Base, this could be Coinbase announces full global rollout of DEX trading, USDC settlement, and tokenized real-world assets explode in volume. A meme or narrative project from Base goes insane and makes global headlines. So a major narrative catalyst. And what's more of a great catalyst for them than something like Toshi and what Toshi is doing? Easily understandable. I'm just saying. Reflexive cycle. Early Base tokens do 10 to 50x. People rotate profits into other Base tokens, and social hype makes Base the place to be. Given where we are, Bitcoin hasn't made its new all-time high yet, and retail is not fully here. Coinbase is already rolling out DEX, but full market penetration will take a few more months. I'd expect Base peak season to align with mid to late bull run, not the very top, because early movers will need time to grow and pull retail in. So the estimated window is Q2, Q3 2025 for the mania phase, with early run starting late Q1 2025 as Bitcoin breaks all-time high and liquidity trickles down. So yeah, this is where I knew we were kind of behind. So yeah. Now let's read into this, because we're getting to the end of it. We're getting to the juicy stuff now, the real juicy stuff. Toshi's chance of going parabolic. This is where things get interesting. Most meme coins in the top 10 have no real utility, already have multi-billion-dollar market caps. they're tied to older cycle narratives. Toshi now has Coinbase integration plus instant DEX access, Toshi Mart flywheel, where ETH buys auto converts to Toshi, off-ramping also flows into Toshi, and liquidity pool rewards are in Toshi. Base chain head start with community and branding already cemented. The OG meme positioning plus being functional infrastructure in the base meme economy. That combination gives it a higher ceiling than most old memes because growth isn't just speculative. It's fed by ecosystem volume, a chance to leapfrog dead weight high cap memes in a retail mania. That is insane. Like, do you hear this? It's set up for all these reasons to do very, very well. If Base becomes the chain of this bull run and the meme coin of that chain has constant utility flow, there's a realistic shot at flipping smaller mid-tier memes like Floki or Bonk, potentially challenging SHIB or Pepe's market cap zone if retail FOMO goes full tilt. It said we can take on freaking SHIB and Pepe potentially. My take, peak Base season likely mid to late 2025. Toshi has a legit shot at becoming a top tier meme coin by market cap this cycle, especially since it's producing SHIB Pepe-like volume this early with less than $1 billion market cap. Its big runs may come in two waves. This listing flywheel hype now, then another much bigger wave when Base Mania hits. So what's going on right now is enough to start driving it, and then it sees another potential wave, which that would be crazy. Now, this is the final question I asked. Okay, also recheck your quarters. We are already ahead in Q3, so analyze the market with the correct data and latest information. Today is 8/19/2025. Or not 8/19. I did put 8/19/2025. I put the wrong date. Luckily, it's smarter than I am. So yeah, here's a refreshed outlook since outlook taking into account we're already in Q3, August 19th. August 19th is crazy. But yeah, when will Base season peak? Current macro and Base momentum. Macro tailwinds are strengthening. U.S. economic growth looks better. Corporate crypto adoption is rising and regulatory clarity is advancing, especially around stablecoin legislation. Base apps launch in Q3 2025 is a major milestone. It brings institutional tools like CFTC compliant perpetual futures and on-chain governance, making Base much more appealing to institutional players. JP Morgan and Coinbase are partnering to enable crypto purchases via Chase credit cards, launching in fall 2025 and extending into 2026. That could introduce hundreds of millions of new users. Coinbase's stock recently dipped due to weaker earnings, but remains strongly positioned with bullish price targets driven by optimism over regulatory clarity and strategic moves like the Deribit acquisition. Base network metrics as of 2025, so we got it updated. TVL stands around 4.7 billion, making Base the sixth largest blockchain by TVL. The sixth largest blockchain by TVL. That is insane. Daily activity, over 1 million daily active addresses and 13.4 million transactions per day at peak. High DEX volumes. Recent figures show roughly 1.6 billion in daily DEX volume with strong revenue generated. Mass adoption strategy. Base handles more weekly transactions than Ethereum and emphasizes mainstream onboarding, gasless transactions, smart wallets, institutional tools, cultural-driven growth, and direct access to Coinbase's 110 million users. Now, when could peak Base season occur? Right now, Q3 is shaping up as the launch phase of Base season, marked by institutional tools going live and mainstream onboarding ramping up. The peak mania phase is likely to come later when Bitcoin and Ethereum rally significantly again. So we need a significant pump from these two, and that's when the mania phases are likely to come. Retail FOMO coincides with institutional inflows and mainstream visibility, and users begin onboarding via credit cards, Shopify stores, or Base native apps. Projected peak windows: late Q4 2025 into Q1 2026. aligning with the macro bullish momentum, institutional inflows, and increasing cultural adoption on base. What about Toshi's parabolic potential? Check this out. Toshi is already theater ready. It achieved breakout demand even during a flat market, showing the potency of its ecosystem positioning. With base season building demand and token utility continuing via Tomb and Toshi Mart Flywheel, Toshi is poised for a serious parabolic upside. It can realistically outshine legacy meme coins, SHIB, Bonk, Pepe, which lack utility and are already expensive. If base hits full on mania, historical precedents show fewer old memes didn't have integral utility wiring like Toshi does. This gives Toshi's potential to become not just a meme token, but a utility infused meme that matters at scale. So Toshi's positioning is pretty much insane. Summary: base adoption, strong traction, growing developer and user metrics, full mainstream and institutional on-ramp. Catalyst, base app plus JPM card integration, Bitcoin ETH price rally, mass onboarding. Toshi's potential: breakout and quiet market, potential exponential parabolic run against legacy meme coins. So potential parabolic run coming from Toshi. So there we have it, y'all. A lot of information in this video. I think that is very, very bullish. This is very bullish, and let me know what else y'all want me to cover and what else you all will want to add. Like, do you have any good questions and things like that we can challenge it with, or any perspectives that you have that you would like to, you know, counter argue and things like that? Because yeah, this is actually pretty fun, just seeing the perspective, seeing all the information analyzed, and getting to a lot of the same conclusions that we all see ourselves. So yeah, let me know what you all think and how you all feel in the comment section down below. As always, drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out, fam.